Welcome to another video in the series of tutorials for Teleskola Educators. Today we're going to be talking about how to actually submit a new lesson to the Teleskola system. Please be aware that to submit new material to the Teleskola system, you need to be already in possession of teacher access level user account for Teleskola. This cannot be done just by registering from the website itself. Please, if you don't already have a teacher account, how to get a teacher account on Teleskola, and view that video to see, to follow the steps on what you need to do to actually obtain a teacher level access account on Teleskola. Once you have your username and password for a teacher level access Teleskola account, all you need to do to submit your lesson is to go to teleskola.mt, go to login, use your username and password, and press login. If you don't want to stay logging in every time, you can just click the remember me button. You will now notice that you have a black menu bar on your Teleskola. So before it wasn't there, once I logged in, now it's there. That is obviously the administration bar for the teachers. To submit a new lesson in Teleskola, I have two options. Either I go directly to the address bar and just write teleskola.mt/submit lesson. That is the easiest way and fastest way of doing it. Or else you can go to the educators section and press the submit a lesson button, and it will take you obviously to the same address. So teleskola.mt/submit lesson. As described in the introductory video for the Teleskola tutorial, so the first video in this series, the crux of the system was to make it as easy as possible to present a uniform look and feel to all the lessons, irrelevant of subject, topic, year. Obviously, the other side of the story was to make it as easy as possible for teachers to submit new material to the Teleskola website. Hence, all you need to do to submit a new lesson is to fill in this form, and the system will take care of everything else: how to format it, how to lay it out, and how to put it into the system. For this tutorial, we need to actually have two windows open so that I can show you the fields of the form, what they are referring to. So, as described in the introductory video, again, I'm not going to go into detail as this has already been explained in the introductory video. This is the standard lesson profile for the Teleskola system. Everything which is in this form is obviously related to the lesson profile which the system creates. So, just as a quick reminder, the lesson profile entails of a featured image, which is this image over here, which is also used to display next to the lesson list when the system is listing all the lessons. So that is called the featured image. Who actually contributed this lesson, so who's creating it, what the lesson is for, so in this case year 9 computing, the duration of the lesson, short description, what you should expect from this lesson. This is capped at 500 characters. A long description, which is a free form text box, and on the right hand side there are all the resources necessary to carry out this lesson, and at the very bottom, if you wish to do so, there is a featured video to go along with this lesson. Obviously, all the elements that the system needs to build this lesson profile need to be populated into the system. All you need to do is actually fill in this form. So this form is the submit a lesson form, which is the core of the system. And I start by saying who I am, or in case I am filling this lesson in the name of someone else who actually contributed this lesson. So in this case, I'm going to write my name. Name of the contributor can also be, because some people were asking me, can also be a group of people. So first name and last name, they don't actually need to be a first name and last name. For example, they can be maths department. And obviously it will show as being contributed by the maths department. As the contributor, one of the most important things that you select in this form is obviously the lesson that I am creating. What is it for? So I have all the subjects here with all the tracks and all the years relate to state school education subjects and years. If you are from a church school or from an independent school and you have a different structure, obviously you are free to try and select one which is closest to what you're trying to submit. In this case, just so I don't stay going to and fro, I'm going to choose again year 9 computing for my lesson duration, so how long this lesson should take to carry out at home. In my case, I'm going to do it 40 minutes, and I'm going to now put in the lesson title. And this, so that I can find it easily after to delete it, I'm just going to name it test lesson computing. And I input a short description which is up to 500 characters. And here obviously I have a character count just to make sure that I'm not exceeding my number of characters in the short description. Now, next is the long description. So what is the long description? The long description needs to have as much detail as possible on how to carry out this lesson. So if I go to the lesson profile, which exists already for this lesson, memory and storage devices, lesson 3, magnetic storage, I see that there are 6 steps in all, with a lot of detail on how to carry out this lesson. It is not accepted that you just, in the long description, it is just, for example, download the PDF in the resources and follow the instructions. Okay? That is absolutely not accepted and will not be published. It is important that the long description is in fact a long description, a plain text long description on how to carry out that lesson at home without supervision or with parental supervision. It depends on the type of resource, lesson or activity you're submitting to Teleskola. So for the long description, I will show you how to make it nicer, how to change colors, how to space it, how to insert links, and how to insert other videos when we are in the next video, when we are overviewing on how to edit existing lessons. Just for security's sake, when you submit a lesson, this field does not allow links, video links, other links. It is just plain text. You can change it after you submit it, but for security reasons in this form, we only accept plain text. If you have existing text in PDF or in Word format, you can copy and paste from your Word document or from your PDF, and it will at least keep some of the existing formatting in your Word document. So all I have to do is copy and paste into the long description, and it will keep some formatting for me, at least, so that when I go to edit it, maybe I need to change colors or make it a bit more rich text, insert different links, insert further videos in the long description. Those I can do them only once the lesson is created, and I can edit it after it is submitted. The next thing that I need to select is the featured image. Now, as a reminder, if I switch windows, the featured image is this image. It does not have to be directly related to the lesson. It will just show as a lesson image when the lessons are listed in the lesson list. In my case, I'm going to just choose one of the images I have available on my desktop. The video link is referring to, if I open the lesson again, the video link is referring to the featured video which sometimes is available on a certain lesson. Now, the video link must be either from YouTube or Vimeo services. Even in resources, Teleskola, we do not accept video files to be streamed directly from the website. This is obviously due to bandwidth, costs, and the maintainability and sustainability of the website to make sure that speed is maintained and efficiency is maintained. Any video which needs to be shown on Teleskola needs to be streamed from a video streaming service, either from YouTube or from Vimeo. In my case, I am going to open YouTube and copy one of the videos that comes up, whatever it is. So I just copy the link of that particular video and I paste it in the video link, and that will be the featured video in my lesson profile, so the one that shows beneath the resources. The final thing that I am going to choose is the resources which I need to carry out this lesson. So whoever is accessing this lesson, if you need a worksheet, a PDF, a document, a PowerPoint, whatever it is, the system accepts loads of different file types as resources for the lesson. They can be MP3 files, they can be anything. The only thing that we don't accept as resource files are video files. Video files can be linked later in the long description, as I said, from a video streaming service, either YouTube or Vimeo. In this case, I am going to choose all the resources that I need for this lesson. In this case, it's going to be some stuff I have running around on the desktop. So a PDF, an image, a couple of images actually. The system accepts up to 15 different files, up to 15 megabytes each. Obviously, the lower the size, the better, even just for the students or for the parents who are accessing this lesson. Please make sure that you recheck that the information that you have inputted is correct. I press submit for review. Okay, so I have CAPTCHA here. Sometimes I have to prove that I am not a robot. And then the system will give me a very simple message, but a very important message. Thanks for adding a lesson. Currently your lesson is set as pending review. Please contact your education officer by email to publish the lesson on Teleskola.mt. One of the major components of Teleskola is that any lesson which is submitted needs to be published by a reviewer, so either by a head of department or by an education officer. Anything which is not yet published by an EO or an HOD will remain as pending review and will not show on the website. This is something which was core to the system and is obviously done for security purposes, and apart from security purposes, as I said, it's for uniformity and making sure that the information supplied is actually correct, so that we can support you further if something needs to be changed in the lesson or amended to improve it. So this brings us to the end of this video tutorial on how to submit a lesson. So a quick recap: to submit a new lesson, task or resource to Teleskola, all you need to do is just fill one form. The form can be found either by going, the easy way is to go to teleskola.mt/submit lesson. It is important that first you are logged in as a teacher with your teacher account. If you do not log in with your teacher account, you will simply, when you write teleskola.mt/submit lesson, it will simply not come up, and it tell you that you do not have enough rights to access this page. Either you go to teleskola.mt.submit lesson, or as just a reminder, you can go from the educators section. Once you go to the educators section, you can click on submit a lesson. Once you submit, as long as you are logged in and you go to Teleskola submit lesson, you will be shown the submit lesson form. It is just a form. Name of the contributor, so name and surname. The category, the learner year, so select the learner and subject. This is extremely important, although everything can be edited afterwards, just in case you do a mistake. Obviously, the better the information is straight away, the less editing you have to do in the future. So just make sure that you you select the appropriate year and subject. Just as a note, you can attach a lesson to more than one year group and subject, but multiple year group and subject selections cannot be done from this form. They have to be done from the editing, so I will show you how to do them in the next video. Duration of the lesson, this is extremely important so that parents and students have a guideline on how long this task, lesson or resource should take to carry out. The lesson title, again it can be edited, but a good lesson title usually is made up of the topic, obviously, and a numbering system if you want. It is not required. So for example, topic 6, magnetic drives. Short description, a good short description, long description, and long description. Just a reminder, it needs to actually be a long description. You can select a featured image. The system will resize the image automatically, so don't worry. You can select any system image. The video link is not required, but if you want, make sure that is linked either from YouTube or from Vimeo, and you can just select all the resources which are necessary to carry out that lesson. Please make sure that any resources which are uploaded, they are referenced in your lesson description, so that students, parents, guardians who are actually carrying out or helping the student to carry out this lesson actually have a reference on when and how to use the resources as part of the lesson. You just click submit for review, and then you email the education officer, which is in charge of your subject, to actually review and publish that lesson. In case you are submitting from a church or independent school, please make sure that you actually contact one of the stateside education officers to review and publish the lesson on Teleskola.mt. Obviously, if you have HODs in your educational structure, heads of departments in your educational structure, or subject leaders, or so forth and so on, which actually have the power to review lessons, make sure that they contact us so that we can give them access rights so that they can approve lessons on Teleskola.mt. That will be all for this video for submitting a lesson. In the next lesson, we will see how to edit a submitted lesson and edit certain parts, like for example, attaching lessons to more than one subject and one year group, how to edit the long description, how to add links and add videos. That will be a video on its own, and then how to edit existing lessons, so in case you want to change resources and so forth and so on. That will all be in the next video. Thank you very much.